What's up guys, and welcome to this tutorial video. Guys, in today's video I'm going to show you how do you do some killer color changes. Alright, you can do some awesome color changes using Adobe Camera. Right, you don't even need to use Photoshop at all. And you guys can see that we have got a picture loaded in Camera. So I'm going to take this picture right here and I'm going to change it to a piece of art which looks something like this. You can see guys, you've got all sorts of awesome color in the background. You can see that we have brought up all the different highlights and the shadows which were before looking kind of dull. You can see that we have brought down some exposure on her face. We have really improved the color in the background of these trees, guys. You can see that. And yeah guys, so I'm going to teach you how exactly did I do this, right? So you can even go ahead and do it with your images. Now firstly guys, I don't really intend to make any as in save any changes to this image, so I'm going to do a cancel to cancel out all of my settings. And firstly guys, I would like to speak about the camera file format and the JPEG file format. Guys, if you are working with a DNG or a NEF, or something like that has come right out of the camera, right, as in a camera file format, you will have much more things to work with. For example guys, if you take a look at this DNG file, if I open it in camera, you can just do a double click on a DNG file if you want to straight away open it in camera, but I'm going to use this icon. And guys, in this white balancer, right, you have lots of options. You can see that we have an auto which does a great job guys of making some color changes, right? We don't even need to play with the settings. You have the daylight option guys. We have all sorts of options guys, but if you take a JPEG image, right, I'm gonna quickly open it in camera now. If you take this JPEG image guys, you'll see that it only has three. It has as shot, auto, and custom. Basically means that we have to customize it ourselves. So as shot, so I always like to, like, whenever I'm working with JPEG in camera, right, I always used to like take this as shot. But whenever I'm working with a DNG file guys, right, I always make sure that I try out those other options, right, because that may really save me a lot of time. So once again guys, let's get back to that image. And frankly guys, I can right now use any kind of image. Just say that I'm using this image. Right. I've got quite some images loaded in this file. And yeah guys, whenever you launch camera, there's always going to be a triangle over here. Just make sure that you wait till the time that thing just goes away. Okay, it's gonna go away real quick, no matter what is the file size. Because right now guys, in this tutorial, actually not in this tutorial, I'm going to show you that in some other tutorial in which I'm working with file sizes like 300 400 megabytes just for image. So no matter how much big the file size is, that triangle goes away real quick, but just make sure that you wait for that triangle to go away. Okay, so let's get to some awesome color changes guys. Now you can see guys that in this video, as in this photo, we have this the slight blue tint on the whole thing, and you can see that there are absolutely no details, or you can see that there are very poor color shot in this door, which is supposed to be the main subject in our image. So actually right now I'm going to do fit and view. Oh yeah guys, the keyboard shortcut of Adobe Photoshop also works. That is Control O if you are in the habits of that. And guys, I'm gonna play with this basics panel a lot. Okay, so really guys, when you are working with any kind of color changes, like if you want to do any color changes, all you have to do is play with this panel right here. All these other panels guys will help you to achieve some other effects. So this is a raw file format guys, an NEF file format. You can see we have lots of other options. So right now if I take auto, you can see that I brought in some color in this dough, or whatever it is. I really cannot understand what that is. And once again guys, none of these images are mine. They are all taken from internet. Supposedly they are already free, and you can see guys that you can really go ahead and play with different things. The most of the options that I really like to use guys is the daylight and the flash. You can take a look at the flash. That really gives it a subtle effect guys, because if I were to go for this tungsten or something like that, it really it is kind of good guys, for coming up with different effects. And it really depends on the situation guys, on which kind of thing you would like to go for. I'm going to go for as shot because you would like to do some images, some changes guys. Firstly guys, we have all these sliders, and viewers, Adobe company has designed this sliders in a very efficient way. Okay, so what I always do is guys, I always go according to the order. I just don't go around making some exposure changes or making some contrast changes or increasing the clarity all the way up or something. Sometimes guys, you may really end up guys with some really nice effects, if you play around with these sliders. But and guys, one quick tip for you. Sometimes what may happen is that if when you are playing a lot, guys, with these sliders, okay, you may really end up forgetting, or making lots of changes with these sliders. And guys, I'm hoping that you would know, because I've shared this thing in one of my tutorials, that if you do a double click on any of this triangle, it's gonna go and get to the default settings. But guys, there are lots of sliders right now, and you wouldn't like to really go around doing a double click on every single one of that. So hold on the alt key, people, and you can see this button right here, guys, which says cancel. Hold on the alt key, guys, and it really changes, on the flash, guys, it changes to the reset button. So if I just click on it, guys, all my like all these sliders, guys, get to the default value. So I think it's pretty cool, guys, right? Just remember that part, because I know, guys, that you will really end up in a situation like this where you have really got really done lots of changes to the sliders. Just hold on the alt key, and there's the cancel button will change to the reset button. Yeah, so you can play with the temperature, because I just want to bring out some colors in. But guys, don't really overdo it, because this effect really looks good, but say somewhere over here, it really looks good, but guys, it spoils the image by making it like, what do you say, guys? It really, the person in front of you who is going to be examining the picture, it can be a client or somebody, guys, okay, gets to know that you have used Adobe Photoshop on it, and that's not the real thing. We should never ever reveal that you have used Photoshop on it. So you just bring it some normal color changes, okay, because it was somewhere over here. Just take this, that gets rid of the blue tint, and tint, I think the tint is really good. Exposure, guys, I really like to when it comes to exposure, guys, I really use I only increase the value just a little bit, okay, because seriously, when you go over here, this 1.95, and you can really spoil the image. I really like to use some decimal settings. And yeah, guys, if you have some specific values, you can go ahead and type it over here. Like, say if I want to type 50, so you can really see it updates me real quick. And contrast, guys, I would like to take it a little bit down, highlights, and frankly, guys, I really cannot explain you this thing. Yeah, but one tip I would like to give you, when you are doing some color changes, take a look at this histogram right here, right? Never ever let the, what do you say, let all these colors or all these mountain peaks reach an extreme end. Always try to keep them in the middle, okay? But also make sure that you don't only depend on the histogram. When you are taking a look at the histogram, guys, take some time out and examine the picture also, okay? Because if I were to only work according to this histogram, I may not really get the effects that I'm looking for, right? So this is a tip, guys, alright, that if you want to follow it, you can go ahead and do that, because and you can just go ahead and play with these shadows. And this whites and blacks, guys, these sliders basically mean that that the whites in the image, okay, as in the lighter or this white parts of the image, like say if you have a sky in the background, then you can really focus on what slider changes that you're doing in the whites. And you can see, guys, that the histogram is now moving towards the white part, so that's not what we want. And guys, you have this clipping going on, meaning if you click on any of these arrows, you'll see that these are the parts. You can see this. You can see these are the parts that are getting affected right now. I'll just click on it again for making that disappear. And I'm going to do Control O once again. I mean Control 0, not O. And you can just play around with it a little bit more. And guys, this clarity, but this slider, guys, means that if you guys, when you are doing some changes or some color changes to an image, sometimes you may end up creating a noise or that green kind of an effect. Sometimes, guys, it may look good, and guys, that green effect really happens on, like, say, you really need to zoom into the image for looking into it. So now you can see, guys, just like you can see, guys, that we are creating this lights, like that, what do you say? Yeah, I think now you guys can see. Just like, I'm gonna change to this pattern right here, and now, guys, if I take a slider up a little bit, you can see, guys, that there was a slight tint on the entire image, that one faded kind of a tint, guys, on the entire image. And now using the clarity slider, it has gone. The vibrance, guys, just go ahead and play with different kind of sliders, guys. And saturation, guys, this is one thing that beginners do a lot, is to play with the saturation slider. And they really tend to create some weird effect, as in not weird as in not good effects. You should never really exaggerate with the saturation slider. So I'm gonna take it somewhere on this 7 6, and yeah, guys, here you have it. A very we have done some color changes, and you can see that this was a previous image, or this was a before image. Here's the after image. So Camera Raw, guys, does a pretty good job of making color changes to an image, guys, right? But yeah, there's one rule that I would like to tell you about Camera Raw on in Adobe Photoshop. Like, if you guys are wondering, like, if we have Camera Raw, then why do we take images for color correction in Photoshop? The reason being, guys, that sometimes what may happen is that you may want to do color correction on a specific part of an image, and when that kind of a situation arrives, guys, you do not use Camera Raw, because that is the time, guys, when you use Adobe Photoshop. Like, for example, if I open this image in Camera Raw, just wait a sec. Yeah, and guys, if and that triangle, guys, just wait for it to go away. Awesome. And guys, take a look at this image where I'm doing some color changes to it. I'm gonna quickly do it. You can see, guys, that we are losing some details in this sky, or this thing in the background. You can see that there is a horizon, but this was a previous image in which I can actually see the horizon real well. I can see the ocean also, and I'm gonna press Ctrl 0. Yeah. So, guys, when you're doing some color changes, you may actually lose some details, guys, working with Camera Raw. And sometimes, guys, a situation may arrive that you may only want to do some color changes to a specific part of the image. When that kind of thing arrives, guys, you take an image into Adobe Photoshop. But, guys, when you have to do color correction on the whole image, right, at the image as a whole, then that time, guys, use Camera Raw, right? So that was it for today's tutorial, people. Thank you for watching my today's tutorial, and please subscribe, guys. Please subscribe, please like this video, and thank you for clicking on this video, guys. Thank you.